Yeah, g'day, Alivar Jones here, founder and leader of the Earthguard Astral Projection Group. Um, Now, for those of you who are not aware of what we're doing, we think the Earth has been occupied and everybody who's in the leadership of Earth has been subverted by evil, by demons, each and every world leader. Now, that's been a bit of a problem, and our team has been working towards ending that particular problem. But even as we go forward, there's a few things that we would like. There's a few general requests that we would like to make. We need some help. Now, some of you have been watching my videos. I know some of you have watched all of my videos, and bravo, thank you for putting in the time. It is a challenge to get your head around the story of what's going on Earth. Now, we know that it's been really, really challenging to get your head around what's actually going on Earth. There's so many conflicting stories and so much conflicting evidence. Who are the good guys? Who are the bad guys? What does this mean? How do we help? How do I get involved? Should I sit and wait for someone to save me? And, I looked at all of that, and it's very confusing. It's very, very confusing because some of the information contradicts. And some people have good information, some people have bad. It's really hard. Now we're 100% clear that the dark side has taken over the mainstream media. How many lies did it tell about the health crisis of 2020 and about 9/11 and about terrorism and. No, it really is allergic to the truth, our mainstream media. It hurts my feelings to say so. But trying to find a narrative that works in the mainstream media is particularly painful, because as soon as you start digging into any topic, you find that the official story is the official fiction. Our real problem, though, the real problem, in my opinion, is the amount of confusion in the mystical world, trying to get decent mystical news. And again, there's a lot of confusion there. And I know that everybody in mystical circles is earnest in what they're doing. However, the dark side has a propaganda group. And I suspect quite deeply that a lot of those guys are in a lot, some, many, the amount varies, but the dark side will be an imposter to anyone it can. So if someone's trying to reach out to Saint Germain or the god Ra, or worse still, Metatron, if anyone's trying to talk to those guys, quite often they'll have an imposter, an interloper, who jumps in and pretends to be them. Now, I'm not saying this is universal, it's just common. And the messages they send, and it's total bollocks. Like they who the good guys are and who the bad guys are, they misidentify constantly, because Earth is an occupied planet, and an occupied planet has a saturation of enemy troops. Just like any other occupied zone, the astral plane is full of bad guys, and they're dying to contact with us. They're dying to be our dude on the astral plane. And think of it like getting off the plane in Nairobi or somewhere like that. So, you get off the plane, somebody help me, somebody help me. A guy dressed as a policeman shows up to help you. Is he really going to do that? You think you're talking to a policeman, but you wouldn't really know what a Nairobi policeman look like. You don't know how they behave. You don't know what the laws are, and you don't know what the uniform looks like. Is that a real uniform, or is that just an imposter's uniform? And it's identical. The analogy with getting on the astral planes is no different. And I kind of gave up working with deities altogether because there were so many imposters, so many. It was so hard to get through to the real one. And eventually I settled on Gaia as the only one, as the only deity who was not introduced to Earth, who was here when we got here. Right? And we've since made friends with the sun. But I digress. This is part of the challenge of working in this environment. Who to trust, how to trust them, it's very, very challenging because a lot of the data, a lot of the information, a lot of the stories contradict each other. It's hard. And the only way to get through that is to meditate for 10,000 hours, to be a quality mystic and go and get to the top of the game. Because once you're at the top of the game, you can see through those illusions. You automatically know. It just takes a bit of work. It takes a bit of time. And for this reason, we would like to set up a school. We want to set up a home base where we can train people to defend Earth from the rest of the galaxy because they've already mastered this technology. We haven't. We really haven't. And we've been told not to. You know, like the information's gone underground. It's had problems forever. And why? So that the dark side can maintain its advantage by using a technology we don't have. Magic. So stay tuned. There's plenty more to see. If one of the things that humanity is going to have to do if it remains independent is to look after its own energy grids. If Earth cannot look after its own energy grids, then some other species from around the galaxy, be they reptilian or otherwise, are going to show up and do it for us. That's the moment we are no longer independent. So for that reason, we have every expectation that our team will shift from crushing demonkind into maintaining and upgrading Earth grids and cleaning out whatever gunk these idiots have left behind. We do this because it's a necessary thing, and Earth's independence relies on us humans picking up this technology of energy work and applying it to our own people and to the Earth as a whole. If we can't do that, then our independence will not stick. If we don't become energetically powerful and self-responsible very quickly, then we don't have any counter. We don't have anything to prevent another species showing up and dominating us through these technologies, as this demonic one has already done. So if you want to be part of that, come and do my trainings. If you're already a highly trained mystic, come along and see if it's for you. I have a training group starting in early July. In order to present your interest to that, put your email somewhere in my website, and I'll be inviting you in the coming months when I open for the intake. Not long until that now. Yep. All of the ins and outs of consciousness, they're not completely known, but you know, after you've done 10,000 hours of astral projection, then you can research it. You can figure this out. And for this reason, I would like to train hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of people in this art so that they can spread a quality kind of mysticism out there. And for this, we probably need a base. I would love to have a live-in compound where people basically get up in the morning, just like going to school or just like going to university, and spend all damn day meditating or going to classes about meditation or talking about meditation and diving as deep as possible. I suspect we would be one of the rare things called a New Age monastery. Not that even New Age is a good word for us. I think we're divergent from them in a number of different ways. Two things will come of this. The light workers of the world will actually have some backbone and be able to stick up for themselves, because loving everything is not strictly the only answer. It hasn't been working for a long time, and I don't suspect it's going to start working just by the willpower of the light worker involved. Even Jesus, who could spread love better than everybody, he's had infinite time and infinite resources to implement his change on the world. And he may have stopped us from going under, but he hasn't pulled us out of the muck yet. So if you're really invested in Jesus, I might suggest to you that he has proven ineffective in the job of defending humanity. But the coming months and years need this team to be much, much bigger. Because on the day that the demons leave, or should I say, are exterminated until there's none left, is the day that Earth will no longer be under occupation, which means we'll be a free state, right? And in that environment, there will be a lot of opportunists from around the galaxy. I am scared witless to see who shows up to try and claim the prize that is Earth. And if we don't get on top of this, if we don't have another cadre of talent to prevent the next invasion of Earth, that's the thing that scares me the most at the moment. Because in a galactic political sense, we have a new planet. It's a fresh jurisdiction. It's a fresh location in the galactic political milieu. We've pushed off our oppressors, but are we strong enough to defend ourselves against anybody else? And the answer that I'm getting right now is no way, man. No way. And for this reason, we have a few jobs to do. And one is complete the extermination of demonkind. Two is to evict the negatively aligned aliens from Earth. Now, there's still a few different groups here, and they're allied with some nefarious humans who also need to go. Those military types are about power at any cost, and the cost is human life, human culture, and the independence of our planet. So good job, guys. Well done. Not that I think they could have said no to anything that they were presented with, but we're just disappointed in them, I think is the phrase we want to say. So the next era or the next epoch of humanity is going to have a few features where we're really on our own. And I don't know if we're strong enough to defend ourselves. I don't know. And for this reason, we just need more people. And so people who are talented or people who are willing to put in 10,000 hours over the next few years to master this art, and we will hold your hand every step of the way. We want you to win. We want you to get to your maximum skill level. We want you to master this because ideally you will constitute the backbone of humankind's defense. Now, magic has been the technology that the dark side has used to both abuse and defend us as its cattle from other cattle rustlers, so we'll say. And we have been able to counter it with white magic or earth-based magic. However, the next steps are going to be problematic because I'm not certain that we have enough mystics or strong enough mystics on the whole to push back against this technology from another competent group. But, you know, we'll see. So this is an appeal to all of you to support us in the next steps in Earth's journey. We can see that things are going to change wildly in the very near future as the leadership case of this planet is either exterminated, evicted, or they go underground and hide in their bases because they're not welcome in the stars. We don't know what's going to happen with the SSPs. But having a strong and cohesive group of mystics is definitely working just for humanity, just for the Earthlings, and nobody else and nothing else and no other interests and no other loyalties. If we have that, we actually stand a chance of getting through the next decade or two and into our golden era. But I suspect we're going to need this. Yeah. Earth needs a Mystic Defense Council, and we'd love you all to join. I hope I've made my point clear. Come and do the trainings, and we probably need a base in the next year or so. Anyway, my love to you all. Stay well. Bye for now.